Well, as you know, in our Free Speech Fridays and other times on just general issues involving Auckland, we often talk to former National Party Cabinet Minister Maurice Williamson, who is an Auckland councillor now, super city councillor. And I thought, given the events of the weekend and the outcome of the election, and also the importance of Auckland and what seems to be a growing tension, or Wayne Brown calling out central government about the way it treats Auckland, I thought an interesting guy to talk to this morning would be the aforementioned Maurice Williamson, Auckland Super City Councillor, and he joins us on the phone now. Maurice, how are you?
Good morning, Sean. I'm very well.
What did you think of that result? I mean, I know that Tova O'Brien's having conniptions and falling off a chair. That's pretty much what I expected.
Yeah, look, there's a quite a unique little point that I think has been missed, and that is what a high percentage vote the three likely contenders to form the coalition got in Auckland. If you take national, it averaged across the country.
You're talking party vote here, Maurice?
Totally. You can only talk party vote.
Yeah.
We're adding them up. In Auckland, National got 44.7% of the party vote compared to 38 across the country average.
Wow.
And if you add that to the ACT vote and to the New Zealand First vote, it's a 58% vote. So it's an absolute clear steer to Auckland that we are not wanting to go in the direction of light rail down Dominion Road or cycleways.
Because the perception that we're going to get from mainstream media, Maurice, is that in voting Chloe Schwabrick in Auckland Central, that Auckland's gone green.
Yeah. So let me just give you the numbers. For those three parties that are together, 369,000 party votes out of 638. It's a 58% vote for the change that has been.
So when Chloe says we've voted against the millionaires and we've voted for taxing the rich and we've voted for class warfare, actually when you look at the actual votes, Auckland hasn't.
Correct. Auckland's gone exactly that way, more so than the rest of the country by a long way. If you look at National's percentage for the country, 38 point whatever it was, 7.2, or for Auckland, 44.7. So much stronger for National in Auckland.
Yeah. Well, looking at the result, as I said, I wasn't surprised. I also think Alison Moore was quite surprised and Paula Penfold's very surprised. I've been looking at the signal. Yeah.
I'll tell you why I'm not surprised at some things, and you need to get this clear. In politics, someone says something, and then you go, well, you'd expect them to say that, as a National Party spokesman saying it. But who said that so much of Labour policies were rubbish and he's going to chuck them on the bonfire? Well, that was none other than the new incoming Labour Prime Minister, Chris Hipkins, in March. He said it. He said they were rubbish, and I'm throwing them on the bonfire. In fact, he had 2 bonfires with the prospect of even having a third. So don't take Maurice Williamson's word for it. You don't like
Take their own word for it.
Take their own word. They said it was rubbish and it had to go. And they just threw it on the bonfire. And who took one of the biggest hits on the night? Michael Wood, who has advocated the light rail down Dominion Road to his electorate and carrying on out to the Auckland Airport, which is the company he's got shares in. And all of those things got absolute total rejection to the point that he got thrown out of a safe seat like Mount Roskill.
Yeah. Maurice, you've known Winston a while because you've been around a while.
Yes, I have.
Like me. I think he is, my personal observation is that he is displaying a far more conciliatory view than I've ever seen him do so in the wake, in a post, after election night. He's saying, I'm quite surprised.
I have a really huge amount of time for Winston, simply because we served together both in the caucus before we got elected in 1990, and then for a while we were both ministers. I still get on with the guy a lot. I think he's been one of the most phenomenally effective foreign ministers this country's had. While I was a diplomat in the United States, I met with people from so many countries who would say, you've got a very, very high-quality foreign minister for your country. It was very complimentary of him. And I think there's a slight difference here. Winston this time doesn't have two sides, either which he may go.
Yeah.
I just don't believe... People are saying,
no, he's not.
I can tell you, knowing what he feels about the other side and what they've done to the country, I think Winston would rather, just go fishing and forget it all rather than go with them. So he's now going to have to find a way of working with National and with ACT. And what's interesting is several of the key platforms they've got are in lockstep with each other. They want to get tough on law and order and tough on the gangs. They all do. They want to actually do something about the big wedge that's being driven into society on racial grounds and get us back to being one person, one vote, and we're all treated the same. They all do. I think it's a good omen, because I think they will need to coalesce with Winston. They've got a one-seat majority at present, but the way specials work always, every election since 2002, National has always lost a seat. On specials. In 2017, it lost 2. So the 61 will come back to 60, possibly even 59, who knows. But if you then bring the 8 New Zealand First in, you've got a really solid, stable government. And I've heard Winston say it many times. The one thing the country's looking for, more than anything else of a solution on this or a solution on that, the one thing they're looking for is stability.